What's cracking, monkeys? I wasn't planning on making a video tonight, but after all the action slash non-action, along with a few comments and one video, I have decided that I once again need to come back on and be the reason, the voice of reason and logic for the league. Um, to start with, we'll start at the beginning of this thread. Your video again, Kurt. After a long, drawn-out, monotone 9.5 minutes, I did learn a few things. One being that you're very sure of your positions on players, and I don't agree with them. You're also very sure of your trades. Oftentimes you're on the wrong side of them. At least so far this year you have been very sure of yourself on who got the better end, and oftentimes that's what you said is oftentimes wrong. But a few things I wanted to point out in what you said that I don't agree with would be you talk about Ronnie not having good keepers, and although he doesn't have great keepers, I agree with that. He should have kept Halou. Probably shouldn't have traded Turner, although Bo has some upside now with Kyle Orton. And all those things are true. However, talking so much crap about Kenny Britt and how he can't sustain his numbers that he had this year, I just don't know where you're going with that. Maybe you forgot last year. I don't know. But he put those numbers up last year. And Chris Johnson was a part of the offense last year and had a good year last year. So I'm not really sure what you're talking about with that. If you look at his average, yes, he missed a few games, but his average of the games he played in, he scored 17 points a game. You look at last year's receivers, that's the fourth best receiver in the league. So if he would kept his average, he missed about 4 or 5 games. If he kept his average that he put up in his other games, he's the fourth best receiver in the league last year. And then Kenny Britt was number 1 before he got hurt this year. So I'm not sure what you got out of him not being able to sustain his numbers. I don't get where you're going with that. So I disagree there. And then also with Justin, the quote-unquote mastermind of trades, had to laugh at that, still do when I think about it. I think he got better because of the matchups. Maybe his projections certainly got better, but projections only mean a projection. I mean, that doesn't. There's not a whole lot of weight that's added to a projection, except for it looks good. But if you look at what he gave up and what he got, he basically gave up Steven Jackson and Marcus Colston for Reggie Bush and Percy Harvin. You break that down, yes, like I said, the matchups look a little better for Reggie Bush and Percy Harvin than they do for Steven Jackson in the last few weeks, and also Marcus Colston. But if you look at the year and their body of work so far, Steven Jackson's averaging more than 2 points better than Reggie Bush, and Marcus Colston, I believe, is averaging more than Percy Harvin if you add in or take away his zeros for the games he missed. So he's given up 2 better players for the hope that the better matchups out of Reggie Bush and Percy Harvin help him out. So I mean, I don't think that his team got astronomically better, as you stated earlier, and said that he really looks like his team's much better than before. I don't know. I mean, I don't. Like I said, his team's good and still one of the better teams, but I don't know that it changed much from before. A lot of trades, but production I think is going to be similar. Other thing I was going to touch on is what I called in the beginning of the video non-action, and that being taken mostly by Tyler this year. That's for trades, for acquisitions, for changing your lineup. You've just had non-action all year. Your team is awful. You're not good. And your excuses for injuries only go so far. I mean, they end when guys start coming back and you still suck. Jamal Charles is the only one that's still out. And yes, he would help out, but you put up 47 with your quarterback last week and still barely got 100. You know, how do you not take Greg Jennings, Beanie Wells, and Reggie Bush for Andre Johnson is beyond me. I would take Greg Jennings over Andre Johnson right now if I had the option. And if you gave me Beanie Wells and Reggie Bush and you told me my running backs were Joseph Adai and Donald Brown, no brainer. I take the trade every day. And I would have taken Zach's trade of Steven Jackson, Jimmy Graham, and Brandon Lloyd for Jamal Charles even. So your inability to make your team better because of your, love affair with certain keepers on your team has created a situation where you're going to be one and done. And you're lucky you've been so lucky this year to even get in the playoffs because, like Urias has been so vocal about lately, he's probably going to beat you again this week. He already beat Tanner. Team's not good. And as far as Huggins, why you're out of the playoffs? You have no chance to make the playoffs. You're eliminated. So what is the point of doing trades with non-keepers? Are you rooting for Justin and hoping that he wins, so you're trying to help him out? Or I guess that's the only thing I can think of. You started conspiracies, a couple weeks ago with me and Urias trading with Renz when they were legit trades, and really they made sense for us. You can see Eli Manning single-handedly won me the game against you this week. When Ben Roethlisberger, if I would have had him still, I would have lost. So I obviously made a good decision there. And now you're trading for Michael Crabtree and giving up Cedric Benson. Yes, Cedric Benson's not good, but what interest do you have in Michael Crabtree? And furthermore, why would you want Marcus Colston for Reggie Bush? I mean, you're not keeping any of these guys. You're out of the playoffs. There's 1 week left. What's the point of trading non-keepers for non-keepers? I have no problem with a guy helping somebody out when they're out of the playoffs if they're getting keepers. And like Zach did, I mean, he was just trying to make his keepers better. He wasn't just blindly trading anybody just to get nobody back. Got to give props to Zach, though, here before I finish this up, for sticking with it after giving up on the season. And now if he wins this week and Justin wins this week against Kurt, Zach is in the playoffs. So congrats on that. After I beat Renz this week, I will win my division. Renz, you can take that and shove it up your ass. Otherwise, that's about all I have. Hope some activity keeps up here. But that's all I have, so later.